Yes, so guys, today's video I will be talking about some of the things you need to do when you have been admitted into a Portuguese university. Yes, I understand there are a lot of challenges involved, and international students sometimes have problems with this, especially at the level of the visa. All right. So in this video, I will be talking to you how you can go about it. All right, during, or let me say, when you have received your application or your admissions letter from the Portuguese university, because there are a lot of them. Remember, I've made a video about this before where I mentioned the University of Evora, Algarve, Porto, Lisbon, many of them. All right, so you are the one to decide. Again, before you apply for a university in Portugal, please make sure that you verify all the necessary requirements. All right, because if you do not verify the requirements, you may not even know some of these things. Pay attention to the fact that some schools will ask you to legalize your documents before you apply. Some will say apply before you legalize them later. Some will not even tell you to legalize them, but you must legalize them before you move to Portugal and before you apply for the visa. All right. So now, the first thing you need to do is to locate a university in Portugal. All right. Apply for it. When accepted, step number one, after being accepted, the next thing you need to do is you need to confirm, all right, that you have received your admissions letter and, of course, accept the position given to you. If you haven't accepted into the journalism and mass communication department or into the finance department, you have to accept your admissions, all right? And accepting the admissions, there are certain things or procedures. Let me put it this way: the university is going to give you guidelines, or they will forward procedures for you to go step by step in order to accept your admissions offer. All right. Sometimes it may be that you input your admissions number into a certain position or a certain link or website or whatsoever. All right. So pay attention to that. Very, very important. You must accept your admissions. This is the same way like Norwegian universities. All right. When you get admissions, you have to accept the position. Same way like some Portuguese university and some other Polish universities. All right. So a lot of schools, they do this. Some will want you to pay a tuition deposit before you accept, but Portuguese university, you start by accepting your offer. All right. When you accept the offer, the next thing you need to do, which is point number two, you now have to pay your tuition fee, the first deposit, all right, of the tuition fee, because you must pay a tuition fee or a section of your tuition fee in order to apply for your student visa. So when you pay the tuition fee, you can now move to the next step. You can pay the tuition fee maybe using PayPal, using your credit card, your MasterCard, your debit card, or whatsoever, all right? Instructions will be given to you on how to go about that after you have received your admissions offer. Now, remember that if you do not pay this, let me say this tuition fee, you will not continue and your admissions will be terminated, all right? They will cancel your admissions. It is a fact, and another student may get your position. So you have to pay attention to that very, very well. When applying for schools in Portugal, make sure that you have already planned everything to the fullest, because as soon as you get the admissions, you have to comply, all right? So that is what is there. Now, when you successfully pay this tuition fee, this part of your tuition fee or your tuition fee specified by the university or the amount, you now need to move on to the next step, which is one of the most difficult parts. All right, it is going to be very stressful, it is going to be very tedious, and you need patience. You have to be calm in order to succeed with this verification before applying for the student visa. Now, how does the verification work? All right, the verification is the first part you have to start with, and for those of you watching me from Nigeria, you have to start with the Ministry of Education. All right, you have to start with the Ministry of Education. Take your certificates to the Ministry of Education and get the necessary stamps and seals on them. All right, take your BSc, take your high school documents, probably your WIEC certificate, to the Ministry of Education. Stamps and seals will be put on them. Then the next point the documents are going to go to is the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. All right, carry the documents to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is now specifically for those of you watching me from Nigeria. I will elaborate a little bit about Cameroonians. On Cameroonians, I will talk about yours later. Nigerians, after the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is where you have to go, all right? And make sure when you're going to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, make sure you get a police character. The police character is this document from the police to prove that you haven't committed a crime, you haven't been jailed before, you haven't been locked up, all right? This is when you want to apply for the Polish visa. I hope you get the point. So make sure your police character goes to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well, all right? From your documents from the ministry, you take everything to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, including your police character, all right? I hope it is very clear. Now, at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the next place the documents are going, you take the documents to the NOC office, all right? But you are not taking the original documents to the NOC office. You are taking the photocopies, all right? When you take the photocopies, you forward them to the NOC. From NOC, they are going to go to your university or your school for verification, all right? This verification, it is going to take time. This involves a lot of patience and a long process. You must follow up as fast as possible. You must call the necessary offices in order to know what you are doing, all right? International students, pay attention to this in case you have the same procedure like Nigerians, all right? Now, from your university, from NOC to your school for verification, your school is going to send them to NUC, all right? NUC now, all these offices are found in Abuja, all right? Some are found in Abuja, some are not located in Abuja. Nigerians, please verify where you are going to find these offices, all right? From NUC, you are now forwarding the documents, or the documents will leave NUC, not from you anyways, because NUC is going to send to the embassy, all right? Or if you are the one sending to the embassy, no problem, but NUC, from NUC, it goes directly to the embassy, all right? And the embassy will verify if everything is okay, all right? Because remember, they are going from these various stages, from NOC to your university to NUC to the embassy. This is the verification process, all right, that has to take place in order for you to successfully apply for the student visa to Portugal, all right? So at the embassy, if everything is okay, the embassy is going to give you a call that your documents are with them and everything is fine, all right? So what you now need to do is you gather all the other documents, put them together, all right? You go now to the embassy to apply for your visa. In this case, an appointment is going to be very necessary. In certain cases, probably when your documents reach the embassy, they are going to call you and schedule an appointment for you, all right? In that case, you may not need an appointment, but if you don't, you have to book an appointment. I hope you get the point. Excuse me, guys. So, at the level of the embassy, there are documents, all right? These documents that have been verified, you need to also add them together, add some other documents, and you carry them to the Portuguese embassy in Abuja. I hope you understand. Now, according to what I know, the documents you are going to be submitting to the embassy for your visa application, all right, include the valid passport, all right, a valid passport. You have to submit a valid passport. I will be checking for my Jota to make sure that everything is intact. You need a valid passport. What I mean by a valid passport is, do not use a passport that is 6 months and below to expiring date. For example, if your passport, if you are going for a master's degree in Portugal, make sure that you have at least 1 year passport, all right, or a passport that is 1 year before expiring date. If you must have that, but probably it should be 2 years. I always insist on these passport things because renewing your passport in overseas countries or in foreign nations is going to be very stressful. Those who are watching me from Northern Cyprus, you know what I'm talking about. Cameroonian, Nigerian, Senegalese, you know what, all these other nationalities, all right? Especially for Cameroonians, it is very expensive in Northern Cyprus to renew your passport. So you have to be very, very careful. A valid passport is very important, or a passport that is still valid for so many months to expiring date, all right? That is what I mean. Now, remember that when you are applying for a university in Portugal, the names, your surname, your username has to be the same as the names on your passport to avoid problems at the level of the visa application. I hope you get the point, because sometimes international students, they don't understand this. They mix up their names, and when they go to the embassy may start disturbing you for unnecessary things. Make sure the name you use to apply for your admissions, all right, should be the name on your passport and should be the name on your documents. Pay attention to that. Then the next document you need, which is document number 2, is a copy of your passport data page. There is a page on your passport that has your name, your place of birth, the passport number, the expiring date, and the issuing date of the passport, and all those things with your photo. That is the passport data page I mean, all right? So you have to photocopy your passport and carry this passport data page separately, all right? The next document you need is an application form, filled and signed. You have to fill the application form clearly and sign the application form. Again, international students, Pay attention to the fact and know that if you do not fill the application form very, very well, organize, all right, fill it in an organized manner, and before you sign it, if you make errors on the application form, it may lead to your rejection. Do not make errors with this. I am insisting. I have once been to the German embassy, all right, I make errors with my application. Some other person beside me made an error as well, but we noticed early. So you have to be very, very careful. Filling the wrong thing in the wrong position is going to cause you a lot of problems when you are applying for this stuff. Please do not fail to understand this, all right? Then again, you need 2 passport size photographs. A passport size photograph is what we commonly call the half card, all right? You have to submit 2 passport size photographs when you are about to apply for your student visa. One will be used on the visa application form and one will be used in the visa office, all right? So submit 2 passport size photographs, and preferably it should be the white background, all right? This background that you see here, this background like this, is the white background. Make sure your passport size photographs are with this same background, all right? This white, not the other one below, this one up. So you have to pay attention to that. Then the next thing you need are your school certificates, all right? Remember, you had some coming from the verification office. Also carry the originals with you in case you didn't submit the originals, because sometimes when you are doing verification, you may be asked to submit originals. But in this case, if you didn't submit originals, carry everything, all right, together with the other copies that you have, photocopies or whatsoever, the school certificates, carry all of them with you to the embassy. All your documents. We'll let them ask anything and you don't tell them that you left at home. No, don't do that. It's an error, all right? It shows you are not serious. So carry everything with you. Again, you have to also present your admissions letter, being it from the University of Evora, the University of Porto, the University of Algarve, all right, business school in Lisbon. You have to carry your admissions letter, the letter from the university to show that you are going to be studying business administration, computer science, geology, business science, or finance, accountancy, or whatever, all right? The letter, make sure it is with you. Evidence of accommodation in Portugal. When applying for universities abroad, please pay attention to this. Make sure you ask the university for accommodation, all right? This is to ease your way in to apply for the visa, and secondly, to ease your movement in Portugal when you arrive there. Because if you want to look for outside accommodation, it's going to stress you before you move in. All right. So first of all, get an accommodation with the school. The school will always have accommodations. If not, they will give you links to apply for accommodation. Sometimes the landlords or maybe the house owners may ask you to pay a deposit before you move in. In that case, pay the deposit and present the receipt to the embassy. It's not a crime. All right. If you do like that, the embassy may even have confidence that you are a serious student. So it's not an issue. Again, you also need to provide the proof of funds, all right? This one is the most important one among all of these, because you cannot move to a foreign country without any proof that you have a source of income, or you have some money somewhere that you are going to be taking care of yourself, or maybe probably you have a sponsor somewhere. So you need to show this document. And now you can sponsor yourself, all right? I have a video on this channel, all right, where I talked about the various ways you can sponsor yourself in Portugal. In case you are not self-sponsoring, if you have someone doing the sponsoring for you, the person can be anybody, your brother, your mother, your family member, your uncle, or whosoever. In as much as the person can write a perfect sponsorship letter, add supporting documents like maybe working documents, bank statements, and all the rest, all right, with huge sum of money. Make sure the money you are submitting should be at least 4 million upward, all right? Make sure it is 4 million upward, because if you sum up your tuition fee, let's assume you are paying 2,000 euros per semester or per year. You add that, you also add money for your feeding per month, let's say $200 or euros, all right? Multiplying that, you will get like 1,200. Adding 1,200 euros to around 2,000 euros, you will see that is around 3,000 and something euros. Just make sure your money is around 4 million upwards, all right, to put you in a better position, or make sure you have a heavy financial background. But remember, getting 4 million or getting 16 million is not a guarantee that you have to have a visa. Please always make sure, like I always insist, all right, make sure you fill the form right, the visa application form. Fill it very well and make sure your verified documents are intact. If you have everything like this, you are moving straight to Portugal, all right? So pay attention to that. Now, remember I mentioned the police character before. You have to also submit the police character, all right? And again, if you are married, present marriage certificates, all right? If you are not, no problem, you leave it. Then travel insurance. You have to get a travel insurance, all right? I always insist that international students will get an insurance for at least maybe 6 months upwards, all right? But it also depends. You can go to the embassy website and verify, and the embassy will say produce an insurance for 1 year, or your university may be the one to decide, which I don't think it is very common, all right? But if not, try to make your insurance for at least 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. I once visited an embassy and they told me go and bring an insurance for 1 year, all right? So I had no choice rather than to go and increase the insurance. So there are things like that. Things can happen like that. So always make sure you check all these informations before you do them. Insurance companies like AXA Insurance, all right? AXA is all over Africa. If I'm not mistaken, you can even get it online, or if you go to their office, you can get it. So for those of you asking me about insurance, always locate AXA Insurance, all right? I have bought from them before, so that is why I'm talking about them. But I don't have anything, no affiliations with them. Please don't quote me wrongly. All right. So the next thing, after you finish with the travel insurance, you have to now pay your flight ticket. All right. You have to reserve a flight. Let me say, not paying the flight, but you are doing flight reservation. All right. So you have to reserve a flight, and make sure when you reserve the flight, you also add the document to the list of documents and carry them to the embassy. All right. So these are the list of documents that you are going to do. Remember, even if you succeed and get the visa without legalizing these documents, you will be sent back when you arrive Portugal. So make sure you do your legalization very well, proper. Follow these steps and do the legalization. Cameroonians, this is the part for you. For those of you who have, let me say, who apply to Portuguese universities, know that you are going to do your own legalization. Start from your university. Those from the University of Boya, take your certificates to the university, get them legalized, all right? Take them to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, get them legalized before you carry them to the embassy, all right? I hope you understand. There is a video I did on the legalization, the procedures. Those going to Belgium, they will always find legalization procedures on my YouTube channel. So verify all of these and you do them. Those of you with HNG, take your HNG to the Ministry of Higher Education in Yaoundé. From there, you take them to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Remember, you don't just go to the embassy like that. You must book an appointment. From the ministry to the Foreign Affairs Ministry, then to the embassy in Abuja, because we do not have the Portuguese embassy in Cameroon. I hope you understand. So this is the information after you have gotten your admissions in Portugal. These are the steps you must follow. Remember, legalization at the level of the embassy needs all these things. You need money. Maybe probably verification, you also need money. All right. For Austria, you need money. For Portugal, I do not know. But if you need money, no problem. Make sure you hold cash on you. But at the level of the embassy, you need money. All right. I think one should be 15 euros or something, one document. All right. So you have to ask all of this. Check the embassy website and get all the full details of payment. So I hope this video helps you. If it does, please, like I said, do not forget. I even forgot to explain to you, before you start watching my video, please always like and share the video, all right? And subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Thank you so much. Until we meet again in another one.